Alright, so usually I would do this topic right here on my other channel, which is called BrainFlowTV slash Hot Topics TV. However, most of my followers on both platforms know that I've been traveling for a few days now, and I have been denied access to my Hot Topics TV BrainFlow TV channel. So I'm putting this content up on our main channel, SouFLoTV. Now, as far as this case goes, I'm sure I'm not the only one who is still wondering why the hell is this case even still in court? Why has this case not been dismissed? But I can see why. Because maybe Young Thug's attorneys have not filed for the case to be motioned to dismiss the entire case. But considering what the judge did recently, out of this friggin' world. Now, this judge was called out by Young Thug's attorney, Brian Steele. And when he was called out by the attorney for doing something inappropriate, which is called an ex parte communication, meaning that Judge Granville was meeting behind the back of the defense with the prosecution. The prosecution and your judge are meeting with their representatives behind your back. They could possibly be planning against you. And then ultimately, the judge could end up having a biased decision in the courtroom because he had already been doing the ex parte communication with the other side, and they have formed some kind of a bond or a relationship. So this is why Brian Steele, who is Young Thug's attorney, basically said to the judge, hey, I got word that, you met in chambers with certain parties, but the information that Young Thug's attorney gave back to the judge, it was too detailed. It made the judge panic because the judge is now saying, who the hell told you all this? The only way you could have gotten all this information, what time they arrived at the courthouse and what time they were accepted into his chambers and all that, the only time you could have gotten all that info is from somebody who was actually there. So who the hell is telling you? What the judge is trying to do really is the judge is trying to see how far Young Thug's attorney's powers are. How powerful is he? Who does he have working inside for him? Because they are telling him stuff that there's no other way he could have known. You know what I mean? And so for the attorney to call the judge out, the judge responded by putting Young Thug's attorney in jail. I've never seen anything like this. The attorney called the judge out on something that he did wrong, or he believed was wrong. The attorney said, I should have been there. Why was I not even notified that this meeting went down? Even if the law says there's room for you to do it as a judge, special occasion, meet with one side only, the prosecution or whatever only, I should still have been notified at least. He got mad. Tell me who told you that. The attorney says that's attorney-client privilege. That's attorney-client working privilege. I'm not going to tell you who told me that. He said, well, I'm going to hold you in contempt and I'm going to put you in jail. He put this man in jail for the next 20 weekends. So the next 20 weekends, he's supposed to spend the weekend in jail. Young Thug's attorney is so gangster with it. Man, I want an attorney like this if I go to court and I'm caught up. He said he has one request, and the only request is that he is locked in with his client, who is Young Thug, so he and Thugger can work on their case because he's still representing him. So how is it going to look, right? A top tier attorney. By the way, Brian Steele is considered to be top of the line, the head honcho, the big dog, the biggest of them all when it comes to criminal cases in the state of Georgia, in Atlanta, the city. How are you going to put him in jail, but he's supposed to work a case and represent a client Monday to Friday, but then report to jail and be locked up for the weekend where he has no access to continue to prepare for the next week of the court case hearing? This case has been dragged on for so long with so many different weird things happening, from people coming in pretending to be or are acting actually insane, to people outright refusing to testify but still being dragged in, only to plead the fifth for like an hour straight, to hearsay, to an actual police officer who brought a young lady in. The young lady actually turned around and said, you sexually assaulted me, which turned into a whole nother friggin' case. The case is wild. So according to the New York Post, it says the Atlanta defense attorney for Grammy Award-winning rapper Young Thug was arrested in court on Monday, and he's ordered to serve 10 weekends straight in jail after he angrily confronted the judge about some secret meetings with the prosecution. I went and looked it up. He also said it. It's called ex parte communication. EX space PARTE communication. Go and look this up. What does ex parte mean in law? Now, Brian Steele, who is the attorney representing Young Thug, who confronted the judge about this ex parte communication with the other side, he was held in contempt of court by Fulton County Judge Uriel Granville, the judge who is overseeing the case. He refused to reveal his source that gave him the information, and because of this, the judge said, well, you're going to have to go get locked up and stay locked up. He said, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. If you don't tell me who it is, I'm going to put you in contempt. The attorney says, I don't need 5 minutes. He then motioned for a mistrial, which was denied. Of course the judge is going to deny the mistrial. Why? The judge is going to deny the mistrial because the judge has probably already made a biased decision based on this same ex parte communication. How many times have you done this in this case? But not only that, this is a RICO trial that's been going on for quite some time. So naturally, it's not just going to be, I move for a mistrial and the judge is going to go, okay, mistrial. Obviously, the state's deeply invested in this case. So they're going to go hell and high water to make sure they get at least something close to a conviction. The boogeyman, the head honcho, the big elephant in the room is Young Thug. This is the reason why they gave everybody else around Young Thug leniency, a plea deal. Just say he did it and we'll let you go. And most of them are like, yeah, he did it. Just say YSL is a gang and we'll let you go. Yes, YSL is a gang, and they got let go. But Young Thug has not been offered any kind of deals because he's the one who they want, right? He is the one who is seen as the big dog who sold a lot of records and is famous, and he used his fame and his money and he furthered a criminal organization. This is why it's a RICO trial. Judge Granville then orders the attorney to be escorted from the courtroom and taken into custody. This is in the middle of your trial, and your attorney is getting arrested in the middle of your trial because he wouldn't tell the judge who told him something. So, like the true boss he is, Brian Steele removed his jacket and his tie as he was led away by officials while the high-profile client, which is Young Thug, just stared with his arms crossed. Thugger is like, his facial expression is like, man, I done seen it all. I done seen it all. Then he was allowed back in the courtroom about an hour later. Now, Glanville, the judge overseeing all this, he allowed Steele to be present while in the courtroom, was in a session, but he warned him that he would be taken back into custody if he did not reveal that source by the end of the day. Isn't that like threatening? You about to be arrested. You got 5 minutes. That man said, I don't need 5 minutes. He called the bail theft. He called the police. He said, arrest him. That man took his jacket and his shirt off and his, he took his jacket and his tie off. And then he goes, okay. Oh, man. And then they take him out of the courtroom, and then they bring him back in the courtroom and say, you could be here, but you got to the end of the day to tell me who told you that. That's how badly they wanted to. He pump faking, trying to get the man to, oh, my God, he's really going to hold me in contempt. Let me tell him. But that attorney stood on business, and he didn't tell that man nothing. Now, on Monday evening, the same judge ordered Young Thug's lawyer, Brian Steele, to be taken back into custody and then ordered him to serve 20 days, consisting of every weekend for the next 10 weekends in jail. This is some bullshit. If you ask me, this case is a big joke. This case should not even be going on anymore if you've been paying attention to this case. But hey, we're going to leave this right where it's at, right? Leave your comments and tell me what you think about Judge Granville's decision to arrest Young Thug's attorney in the middle of Young Thug's trial for simply not revealing his source to the judge about what happened when the judge was doing something which seems illegal. I'll catch y'all on the next video. I'm out. Peace.